Hey everybody, and we are back. I have another capsule to unbox. We're going to open up Miniverse Make It Mini Lifestyle. They were on the clearance aisle for $7 at my local Walmart. And there was a couple of them that I was really interested in and thinking just maybe. But let's see if I get what I was hoping for. Alright, so I got the capsule open. There is a code right here. I don't know if these types of codes have anything to do with what's inside. I didn't really see anything on the outside. I know there are ways to kind of guess at what might be inside, but I just grabbed a random one with the help of my daughter. So let's see what's inside. We have our tongs, which come in pretty much every one that you get. We have a collector's guide and instructions, because they often do have things like resin to use inside or sand. So there's an instruction guide to go over. This is the collector's guide. Let's see. I really like the rose teapot, the teacups, or just any of the teapots really. If I did get the cat themed ones, I know my daughters would love those. Mushrooms are interesting, but not exactly my favorite. I do like the candles that kind of look like art to me. Then you have the planters. Some of those are cute, but let's see what I got. It looks like I got one of the cat themed ones, so I'm pretty sure my youngest is going to be absolutely thrilled. But this is the instructions, and at the end we'll have that. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, so we're going to put that back here with my doll, and she can hang on to it as we get into the capsule. Looks like we have our tools here. Or not? Okay. I'm guessing these are for the stand. Okay, I see where that goes. Maybe this way. And not quite. Okay, so there's the stand. You can remove the back piece and have it open if you want to. I almost wonder if it's not better to leave it like that. I bet you could put like a cardboard cutout to give it a fancy background. But there's that. We're going to set that off to the side. This bag might be the teapot itself. Okay. This is the teapot mold, it looks like. So if I'm understanding this correct, you're going to use this and the mold, which is silicone, so if you did have other resin, you can make any colors you wanted to. That could be cool. So we're going to put that there. It's blocked off. It has the edges so that when you fill it, it goes and creates that shape. So we're going to put that there. And then let's see. Try to move my trash. The next bag is the decals. Mine did get a little bent. I'm hoping they'll still stick. But we have the calico decals that are going to go onto the pots. And then we have sandpaper so we can smooth it down. That's so cute. I might use my own so I can put this sort of like in the garage. But that's cool. And then we have the, I guess the little mat that it sits on. So we'll put that right here for now. And then it falls over. Okay. Let's see. There. Now I have the mat in there. I'm going to set it off to the back. Mine doesn't seem to be very even. Okay. Next bag. Next bag has the other pieces that are going to go onto it, as well as a little plastic tray, which is kind of cute. So it looks like we have the spout, the lid, and the handle over here. We're going to need those. This must be the resin. Actually, I think we're supposed to use this for our mixing base. So, let's open this. Okay, so from what I see, we're going to take our resin. It's white because it's supposed to be porcelain. You have more instructions and warnings right here. And I ripped the bag, or ripped it off. Okay. So you have those. Oops. And we're going to... Oh, I see. This whole thing comes off. Never mind. That's neat. Alright. So we have the white resin inside. It looks like you just pour into the mold. And it should, theoretically, okay, starting to go into it. You can see it going down. I'm trying to coat all the sides as evenly as I can. Okay, and it says, yeah, make it as even as possible. So, I think I still have a little bit more room though. So let's keep going. I'm getting towards the end of the resin. It's up to the top. I think I got it on all sides. Try to knock out any of the bubbles, which I know you can also use your tongs for. Okay, so I got that, and then I'm going to pour some down the bottom to fill it. That way it gives it a flat bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover the container back to save the rest of the resin. But as you can see, I've got it evenly done. I don't see any bubbles. And it looks like I have enough to make a flat bottom right here. Okay. Now it says 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go off camera. I have I have to find it. But I have a UV light from one of my kits. So I'm going to use the UV light on this, and then I will be back. Okay, so I have had this under the UV light twice now, each at 15-minute segments, so 30 minutes total, and it is still sticky on the bottom. And supposedly after about 10 to 15 minutes without UV light, you're supposed to be able to flip it over and then let the rest of it dry for another 10 to 15. But when I went and tapped it, it's still sticky. So I'm going to put this somewhere where hopefully it can get some other light, maybe some sunlight. And we'll have to come back to this project tomorrow. And hopefully it'll be dry and ready to go. So until next time, I'm going to go start another project. And one more note that I forgot to say. You're supposed to use the nozzle on the underside. So when you take this off, you're supposed to put that nozzle on. That way it can squeeze into the sides of the mold a little bit easier. Sometimes these work really well, and sometimes they have a tendency to pop off. But I probably could try this one next time, so I'm going to hang on to it and see what I do with it, just so you guys know. Okay guys, so I waited all day, and it finally dried enough that we can tap it without there being any sticky stuff. But now we're going to pull it out. Oh no, I must have had an air bubble there. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's supposed to be there. Good, 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 good. Oh, come on. A little difficult. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. Oh, it's sticky up there. Okay, so I'm just going to say I don't think 15 minutes one way and then 15 minutes another way is actually enough. It's still sticky. Like, but it feels... Nope, it's leaking. I don't know if you can see that. It's leaking. So it has not fully solidified. Literally, I started this video this morning about, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning. It is 10 o'clock at night now. And it's still not done. And that was with 30 minutes of holding a UV over this part. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to clean my hands and we're going to wait. And I'm going to put it in the sunlight again tomorrow. And eventually it'll be done. Okay, until next time, guys. Okay, let's try again. I did bring a warm, wet paper towel because I've decided even if it doesn't work, then we are still just going to go ahead and take it out. It did leak again at one point whenever I went to take it out. But let's see. It's a little difficult. And I realize those are actually where the pieces go in. Okay. Oh, it's gooey. Okay, so it still didn't harden, and I had it out there for 2 days in the sun. So what I'm going to do is dry off the outside, put it like this, and then I'm going to put it back in the sunlight and let it just dry. Because as you can see, maybe you can't, okay, yeah. It's a little wonky on the inside, definitely wet. The outside's good, so I'm gonna wipe it down so it's not sticky, put it on this thing, and then put it back in the sunlight sitting up. This thing I'm going to clean out because it could be reused with more resin, which I really like that part of the these capsules. But I got to clean out the old resin so that it doesn't stay stuck in. I'm thinking it must have gotten caught maybe in the lip area and just kept oozing. That, or it's meant to be like this. I got to look at the instructions. But here we go. This is what we're going to have. It does have the holes for the spout there, and where was the other one? I hope this works, but this is where the other one, the handle goes. It didn't indent very much on that side, so I'm hoping it still works. But alright, let's get it dry. Alright guys, so we have the finished thing. As you can see, it's not the prettiest on the inside, but that's not really going to matter because we're going to be more focused on what it looks like on the outside. It did take a really long time, and I'm a little worried that this notch might not be deep enough. But let's see how we can get the pieces attached. So it says we're going to need this. We're going to use some of the resin as a sort of gluing agent when we put them on. Let's open up the capsule. Kind of been storing everything on the inside to make sure I don't lose anything. Alright, so according to this, it took about 3 days total, I think. So I don't know what I messed up as far as the resin part. It did say you could use the sandpaper to sand off the rough edge on the bottom. However, mine came out smooth, so I don't know if it's just because of how I poured it, but everything came out nice and smooth. So I won't be needing the sandpaper. Not this time at least. The next thing it says is to take the resin. We're going to put the little glue top on in a minute. And then you're going to attach the spout and the handle. So the spout will have this square piece. And it's taped on. I'll throw that away later. Okay. So here's our pieces. We're going to start with the spout. It has the nice square edge. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and try putting on the spout to give it a more direct approach here. We're just going to put a little bit in there and kind of smooth it over, and then we want the spout to go right like that, and we want it to stay. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more so that it coats the whole of the circle, so a little bit. Maybe if I can get it out. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to take this and put it in and kind of hold it for a minute. And then I'm going to UV it, so I'll be right back. Okay, it worked a lot better curing it that way. It's a little rough here as far as where the spout went. It did leave a big chunk that did not, I guess, fill in as it should have. But the spout's on. The handle gave me a little bit of trouble. I did have to hold it and the light for quite a while to get it solid enough. But then I took the little round plastic cap, which I think I left over there. Yep, I left it over there. Of course I did. But I used the ridges in it to hold the handle in place, and then I stuck it outside so that it could cure in the sunlight, and it worked a lot faster and a lot better. It's definitely strong and ready to go. And now we can take the cap and it will go like that. I almost put the handle on upside down because I didn't realize. So remember, this is a tail. It did not have an indentation strong enough to push in, and of course whenever it cured it slid a little bit, so it does stick out just slightly. But overall I think it will work just fine. I know my daughter is going to love it because she loves cats. The lid doesn't exactly stay in. It's very loose, but again, it's gonna be fine. So, as far as doing the stickers, I promised my oldest daughter that she could do the sticker part because she was really excited to do that part. And you're gonna peel off the various stickers and place them where you want them. So, I'm gonna have her do that part, and then I will come back and show you the finished product. So, until next time. Yay, it's done, guys. Check it out. Here's the little paper that you're supposed to put it on. And here is the actual teapot. My daughter put all of the little stickers on. You can kind of see they bubbled up a little bit on some areas. Move the camera a little. This one doesn't stay on very well. It likes to flip over. So I'm just going to take it off and show you. But here is the lid. We have those cute little eyes that go on. Parts on the back that she did. As you can see, the ear pieces are also trying to peel off. But there's the head, the tail. Like I showed you before, to get it to stay while it was curing, I actually used this with the little notches inside of it right here. Oops. To hold this in place, because otherwise it did not want to stay on very well. But I did use the resin and put that on, and as you can see, there is some indentions where it didn't quite fill out the whole area, but I still think it's cute, and my daughter is so excited. She can't wait to have this. There is the little teapot. Just like that. Isn't it cute? Oops. Like I said, this one doesn't want to stay on very well. I might go back and glue it on if that's what she wants me to do. But otherwise, she'll just play with it as is. And then she also gets the little tray that goes with it. The little plastic tray. Because I just think it's cute. And I think it would make an adorable little tea set, especially if one day I can get her the kitty cat cups that go with it, and then her little piece that goes like that for it to sit on. So my daughter's gonna get that. I'm debating on what to do with this. I mean, it makes a cute display. I even thought about hanging it on one of the walls and using it as just a rounded shelf. Something I'm thinking on, but for now it's just going to be a container that I set aside. I still have the tweezers, the tongs that came with it. We never had to use the sandpaper, so I'm going to put that aside. That's going to go into a future garage. I kept this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with it, but it's just so cute. It's got the decals thing, and it talks about being a sticker on the back. But you can actually open it. The decals were in here. And it has spots. The cat, Calico. And I was debating on having my daughter color it in to look like the decals were still there. And then putting it in like the craft section of a store. Because that just seems cool. Especially because I can reseal it like that. And I do still have some white porcelain resin. Not very much, so I'm debating on what to do with it, but for now I'm hanging on to it for a future project. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me as we made the Calico teapot from the Make It Mini verse. Until next time, bye.